Hello. Well, I've been talking about the Bank of England interest rate rises and the latest one predicted for this week. I've been banging on about it for months. So have a lot of other people. I don't think anything's going to be done about it. It's not going to be stopped. It will happen. Liz and Quasi, the new government, haven't even, they've talked about everything under the sun, but they haven't even mentioned interest rates. So I don't see much happening there. And once again, the politicians are to be commended certainly on stopping the fighting finally after a month and a half or more, and now concentrating on what they can do for the consumers of Britain and our businesses. But they're ignoring two main points, two major points. One is that this knee jerk reaction, this headlong, crazy rush to keep raising interest rates to fight inflation is senseless. All they're doing is lemming like, imitating the states, as many other countries are doing. And the reason for the states doing it are quite different than what's going on here. And the second thing is that the amount of money being paid for the electricity part of our energy bills, which are two-thirds of our bills, are reported to be grossly inflated because the electricity prices are pegged to the price of gas on the international gas markets, which of course are being manipulated by Vladimir Putin, whereas only 20% of British electricity consumption comes from gas. Isn't that ridiculous? Um, 80% of British electricity consumption, report several sources recently, comes from renewables, solar, wind, nuclear, and from our own North Sea sources, all much, much, much cheaper. And yet we are paying this higher price for the electricity and have been doing so for decades, ever since apparently the energy companies were nationalized back in the 80s. And everybody has said this ridiculous anomaly needs to be stopped immediately. And energy bills would fall by something like £1,500 each, I'm told. Even Boris in June said this must happen immediately. John Penrose, the MP uh, who was the architect of the energy price cap, says that, first of all, the energy price cap is no longer fit for purpose and should be scrapped, and that this coupling of electricity prices to gas should be stopped instantly. And yet, nobody's doing a thing about it, and it's not been mentioned, and it's not going to happen. So, of Liz's 170, 150, 170 billion, whatever it is, there's a huge chunk. The research says something like 50 or 60 billion that's being spent needlessly, that's coming out of our pockets for no sensible reason at all. These things need to stop. This new government has got to get a grip, or things are just going to get worse. The economy, the business will surge. I think everything will be great, but we'll be dragged by this huge albatross. We could do so much better. Thank you so much.